So Derek Roddy's here, and he's going to help me, I guess, debunk this in sorts. So if you could at least clarify first, what is the difference between a trigger and, as we all know it, acoustically, where you would use a microphone as I'm doing right now, only on a drum? If you could present us an A and B example.
So here's a mic. And here's the trigger. Are triggers cheating? No. So when you use a trigger unit and you plug it up to your trigger that mounts either on the pedal or on the drum head, you still have to play the note in order for it to fire a MIDI signal to make the sample, right? Or whatever sound you're using. So in and of itself, triggering is not cheating. You still have to be able to play. When people hear the term trigger, they attribute that to production. So then you start talking about what is production these days. And a lot of times the drummers don't even know who are recording, that they themselves are being manipulated. They're playing. Their notes are being moved, and they're being put on a grid. And it is no longer the performance. Where I draw the line with all of this is when you start moving notes and you start changing the drummer's identity, because I'm no longer interested in that point. You know, I'm like, if I hear a sample on a snare drum, I hit stop immediately. And that sucks because it's 99% of music that's released, and not even just in metal, but Pat Metheny, one of his last records that Antonio Sanchez played on, he told me that was sound replaced. You know, the reason that they do that is for isolation, right? That's how it all started.
Yeah.
Going back to Scott Burns and why it was done to begin with, they were trying to isolate the kick drums as much as possible, right? So I'll give you an example. You know, you're looking at a bass drum, and it's a big round cylinder. You ever play in a drainage ditch as a kid?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and so you yell in it
Right.
at your friend on the other side, and you hear that kind of echo.
Totally.
You know, so the bigger a drum is and the longer it is, the more of that you're going to get, which gets away from that thunk,
Right.
that nice sound that you're going for in metal. But here's a bass drum.